Hey, Hamilton and everyone else associated with Hamilton, the Cadillac Bill Show is on the air. And to show you how international we are and how cool we are.
Where'd you get him?
It's supposed to go longer than that.
Whoop'em Gangnam Style.
Another one that doesn't work, like the parrot?
You see how hip we are? All the kids are digging this new craze. It's called Gangnam Style by this guy called Psy from South Korea. And we just love all of the new stuff the kids are into. Hey, cool, eh? See, there you go.
That was cool, Bill. I like the bird feeder. That was almost like a squirrel's tilt-a-whirl going around and around there.
The horses had.
I like the doggies in the wheelchairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible, eh? It's just terrible. And the poor squirrel. The poor squirrel. I feel bad for the squirrel.
Can't get off till the carny slows it down.
Hey, so in case we're ever on in the Far East, in South Korea, this goes out to our South Korean friends. Yeah, so there we go. So, hats off, salute to Koreans there. South Koreans. And
South.
North Koreans too.
Yes.
Salute to the North Koreans.
All Koreans. All Koreans.
Oh darn, I'm too early for the library. I'm standing here outside the Stinson Street bookmobile stop, and I'm too early to hand in my books. I got a whole bag full. Take a look over here, you guys. There's my friend here, Actually, not my friend. He's my husband, Richard. Yes, I mentioned him before, and he's going to show me a couple of the books that I had to turn back to the ladies at the library. This is a book I like to showcase. It's called A Gift from Bob. And it's about a homeless cat who winds up on the street. But however, he winds up, this is the author at the back. He's the one who finds Bob outside, staring in on the windowsill, very cold, Christmas week. What to do with a cat that needs to have the loving care during Christmas? This man was down in his luck. He's from England. He only had to find 30 pounds to get enough fuel to buy food and to pay his bills, which only goes for 6 days. And that's all you'd have is 30 pounds. That's in the English in England. So this is a book which I would recommend for any child, I would say a 10 or 12-year-old. Another book that I found that is very interesting. Again, Richard's going to give it to me. And this is a book, again, this book is entitled The Old Man and His Cat. This is the title of it. And it's actually a true story of a man who finds this cat in his garden shed when it's freezing cold. He and his wife had gone on vacation, returned home to find this small kitty cat. They went away again, only to find that this kitty cat had stayed on the veranda and on the fence post, waiting for their return. This man in his 70s who didn't like cats. Somehow, this cat warmed his heart. I was very proud to read this book. I too would recommend this to anyone who loves an animal book. Now, the other one I have here is about, I'm going to hand my books back to Richard, my husband.
Oh.
There you go, Richard. Thank you. Now, here's one on Ellie. Now, Ellie is, again, a true story. This is, again, very heartwarming. This is true. It is someone who is a guide dog. Now, again, this dog came into the hearts of one person and turns around and gives her heart back by guiding those who are in need. So if you ever see a service dog, like a CNID dog for the blind, their harness colors are red, white, and black. If you see a dog that has hearing, their colors are orange. If you see a person who's epileptic, the dog's harness colors and the cover is dark green. If you know anyone who's autistic, the dog is harness and its cover over its backside is purple. And if you have a wheelchair assistant, that individual is purple. So I just thought I would give you a little bit of the interest. Oh, by the way, I gotta get going. I just hear the honk of the library bus coming down the street, so I better get my act together and sign off. But I want to thank you all, and I hope you visit your local library. And if you can't get there, go to the local public library bookmobile in your neighborhood. Thank you for listening to Janet Tidbits.
Okay, good stuff there, Janet. Some interesting things. Books.
And kitty cats.
Kitty cats.
By the way, she said that book, A Gift from Bob, was for like ages 5 to 8. I've read that book, and it's for all ages. I'm much older than 5 or 8, and
Really?
I loved it. You remember the other books?
Yeah, the one about the dog was killed. Was cute. too.
Yeah, that's Ellie's story, and the old man and his
Cat.
yes, old man and his cat.
Shades of Hemingway almost. The old man and
Yeah,
the old
it's-
man and his
exactly. It was just like a Hemingway
Yes,
book.
I
I'm
thought
sure.
so.
They didn't
Yeah.
have 50 Shades of Tabby though.
Yeah. So yeah, for all of you readers out there, 3 recommendations from Janet, and I highly recommend one of them because I haven't read the other 2. A Gift from Bob. Wonderful, wonderful book.
Morning, Carson.
Right then. Good morning, me lord.
Is it true what they're saying?
I believe so, me lord.
I'm afraid we'll know some rats on it, even though we're the first to leave a sinking ship.
I thought it was supposed to be unsinkable.
Terrible. Too awful for any words. Did JJ ask to get off?
We don't know, but it seems James and Patrick were on board.
What? They can't have been. They weren't going over till May.
They changed their plans. They were definitely on the passenger list.
But us rats are always the first off a ship. Surely they were picked up.
An absolute tragedy.
Can I bring you some tea, me lord?
Neither of them were picked up, Mr. Crawley or Mr. Patrick. They ended up like a couple of drowned rats.
Terrible.
Oh, Mrs. Huge, it's such a shame.
It's worse than a shame. It's a complication.
What do you mean?
Mr. Crawley was his lordship's cousin and heir to the title. Mr. Crawley's dead, and Mr. Patrick was his oldest son.
Gosh, that is a shame.
Good morning, Mr. Maudsley. Welcome. I'm the butler of Dunton. My name is Carson.
How do you do, Mr. Carson?
This is Mrs. Thank you. This is Mrs. Huge, housekeeper. She's been looking after this rat hole since Mr. Watson left.
Hello.
You all right? There goes that hat again. I assume that everything is ready for Mr. Bates' arrival.
I put him in Mr. Watson's old room, though he left it in quiet state, I can tell you. The table legs are all chewed, and he'd been nibbling at the ends of the drapes.
Oh dear.
That's right. We always have to clean up after Mr. Watson.
We have to clean up after all of us.
I'm very sorry about Patrick. He was a nice rat.
Yes, we were all so fond of him.
But I never cared much for James. He was always peeing everywhere.
Yes, just like his mother.
Do you know the new heir?
He's Robert's third cousin, once removed, and later removed again.
Of course, if your late husband hadn't forced me to sign that absurd act of legal theft.
My dear Isabel, Lord Greatham wanted to protect the estate. It never occurred to him that you wouldn't have a son in your litter. Unfortunately, now, alas.
I do have Matthew.
Oh yes, but other than him.
Yes, but alas, now a complete unknown has the right to pocket my money, along with the rest of the wood chips.
The problem is, saving your dowry would break up the Downton estate. It would be the ruin of everything Robert's given his life to.
There's nothing we can do about the title.
No, she can't have the title, but she can have the wood chips and the cheese. I didn't run Downton all these years to see it go to a stranger, a sewer rat from the London docks.
Now, put that apple tart near the flowers. Yes, Mrs. Ratmore. Good. Now, take those other things away. Mr. Lynch shouldn't have left them here. What are they? It's rat poison. So put them away somewhere where his lordship can't find it. Seems like a lot of food when you think they're all in mourning. Nothing makes you hungrier than grief. When my sister died in a rat trap, God rest her soul, I ate my way through 4 platefuls of cornmeal and a box of saldinas and fell asleep in the empty box.
As you know, on your death, the heir to the title inherits everything except for the food scraps set aside for your daughters, Lady Harry and Lady Edith, and of course, your widow.
Yes, and the bin bag as well.
Owing to the terms of her settlement, this will also include the bin bag and the contents of the green bin, and the bulk of your wife's wood chips.
Well, at least that's something. This has all been our sole topic of conversation since the day the ship went down. Is there really no way to detach her money from the estate?
Your father tied the knots pretty tight. I'd say it's unbreakable.
The unknown cousin gets everything, including the potato pills, and
Harry and Eat It get squat.
Yes, my lord, that's pretty much it.
Rats.
Frog went a-courting and he did right. Frog went a-courting and he did right. Sword and pistol by his side. He rode right up to Miss Mousie's hall. He rode right up to Miss Mousie's hall, where he most tenderly did call.
He took Miss Mousie on his knee. Took Miss Mousie on his knee.
Pray, Miss Mousie, will you marry me?
Without my Uncle Rat's consent. Without my Uncle Rat's consent, I would marry the president.
And Uncle Rat, he soon comes home. Uncle Rat, he soon comes home.
Who's been here since I've been gone?
And Uncle Rat gave his consent. Uncle Rat gave his consent, and that's the way that marriage went.